Give it up is when you're like in a relationship and you know that after it happens you won't regret it and that you actually love the person and you're giving it up or having sex is the closest bond that you can have with anybody. So I feel like you really have to be ready and you have to be mature about it and maybe have a conversation with your significant other about it.
When you know that this person is the person you want to marry, when you see a big future with this person, not just if you're in love with him, but if you really see a future with him.
Also, I believe that you should give it up when you're married, because that's just my belief.
If you know that they'd be a good parent to your child, then that's a good time.
When you start showing off things like that, when you guys have sex, he's not gonna go to his friends like, oh, I hit it last night, or you know what I got last night, or like, I hit it. It's just like, that's not, when he's still in that kind of like part of himself, I don't think that's an appropriate time, because then he'll just blab about it to his friends and say.
Done it. Can you see yourself, him texting you the next day and saying, it's over, we're done, like, no more, after you give it up?
Like, please think twice about it, because, like, it's something you can't get back. Like, once it's gone, it's gone.
And if he can't respect you, then he's not worthy of you.
It's something that could change your life for the better or for the worse, especially, like, getting pregnant. Like, being pregnant used to be such, like, a beautiful thing, and now it's like, oh, she's pregnant too, oh, I know she done it before. You have to really be ready to face whatever happens.
Like, cause this big decision, like, virginity is precious. Like, you shouldn't just be giving it up to anybody.
For the girls who already have done it, if it was one of those situations where it wasn't the best decision afterwards and you realize that, just understand that you can't take it back, but it doesn't make you less an individual.
If you have done it before, yes, always realize that you're not less of a person, because even though you did it, you thought that, or maybe you didn't and you just did it because you wanted to, but most of the time you thought that this person loved you and you thought that they cared about you. And so for you to have done it is not sincerely a bad thing, because, you know, you were in love and you were probably young and you weren't really thinking of the ramifications of your actions. But I mean, just remember that life goes on and that it will be all right and that everything.
I feel like they do it to get it over with. Like, if you're pressured to do something or like you're worried about it, if you just do it, it's done. So like, it takes a lot of pressure off. Then
Like, if you do it, they'll still love you, and then you're just kind of like blindsided or in denial of the consequences that might happen if you do it. So like, maybe you feel lonely, and that's the only person that you can really talk to.
I think some girls, not every girl, but I mean, I think some girls literally think something magical is going to happen after they do it. And they're going to feel like, oh, he loves me so much and now I can do anything. And then when he doesn't want to do it again and do it with another girl, then they're crushed.
I feel like some girls are afraid of being judged because you know how some guys say, oh, she gets around, she's well known or whatever. So, but like having sex is like a precious thing, as we all agreed on. And so if a girl denies the guy, so she'll be afraid of being judged for denying. But there's nothing wrong with that for loving yourself.
Like, some girls are just so naive these days, and they listen to everything a guy tells them. Like, a guy can tell them anything. It could be so many lies that they tell them, but they still listen because they don't know any better.
Oh, I feel like some girls have low self-esteem and like they really crave attention from guys, and that's the only way they'll feel like pretty or good about themselves. Like if they see their friends, like they get all these attentions from like guys, but they don't, they might like feel like they need to do something, like have sex with the guy to like feel wanted. And that's why I feel like some girls have
Issues, problems in the household, because like some of the girls I know, the ones that their dad isn't really supportive or he's not around or something, they've been known to have really messed up relationships with boys, or they have sex with boys because they feel lonely or they feel like they're not loved and they need a man in there.
Is someone that doesn't like try to like push you down. He builds you up, and he wants you to do better for you. And
I'll just say this one thing: loyal to me, because I'm willing to know my bad parts as well as my good parts, not just like, happy cheering me, but like when I'm sad too.
To instead of liking me for the body, liking me just for my personality. Like liking someone for their personality is so much better than liking them for the body and then hating their personality. That's not a good relationship.
And I want somebody who likes everything about me because it's me.
Anything. Like accept your flaws and like that you can kind of like laugh with and stuff, not be so serious all the time.
So I have a follow-up question. Is that guy hard to find?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because boys out here, like, I don't know, I guess I want to act childish most of the time. They just want to, like, go around and not, like, settle down.
I think it's also plus like just social media too, just like what they hear, they're influenced by their friends. Like if I do this with my girl, I can't do that with my boys. Like you can do both, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Guys nowadays are so based off of like the music videos and like social media and stuff. Like my girl has to look like this and I have to treat her like this, and so it kind of like influences them. Most guys think, oh, they see these pretty girls that are famous and think the girls that their age and in their school and outside of school have to look exactly the same, and that's not technically true. A good girl can be so much better than a famous girl with money, and a girl like has a personality, can make you smile, pushes you toward your goals. That's so much better, but they don't look for that. They look for the looks.
Why these guys are so hard to find is because the girls that the guys want are so hard to find, because even though we say that, or guys say that they want a good girl, a lot of girls, they get the perception of you have to be like this for a guy to want you, and so they do what they have to, or what they think they have to do to get these guys to want them. And so, you know, they start to try to look like Kim Kardashian, or they start to try to act a little bit more like nasty or promiscuous so that guys will like them and guys will be around. So
But I think it all depends on what you want, in a way that you're supposed to have a mutual 50-50 in a relationship, and not just, 75, 25, whatever. It's supposed to be, equal.
Too much. I think that you have to give a little to get a little. Like you have to give to receive.
I think boys think we expect too much, but I think girls, we just have high standards because we value ourselves and we're supposed to. And I think that boys, we shouldn't lower our standards just to find a boy who will be like a regular boy. If you're going to be with me, like everybody said from the first question, I want us to grow, so I'm not going to lower my standards just because of you and you think I'm expecting too much. I'm going to find somebody else who wants to live up to my goals and my values.
So yes, girls have high standards for certain guys. They want a nice smile sometimes. They want you to care for them. They want you to make sure you show love and care. And some guys don't show that, and that's why some of you guys say, oh, she has too much high standards, but it's just because you don't show what you need to show for them.
Everything is not build a girlfriend or boyfriend.com. It's reality, you're realistic, and it's just, you have to be able to not lower your standards, but be realistic about what's going to happen. It's not
That you're gonna have problems and you're gonna have struggles, but the outcome is how you're gonna get through that, so you guys can move on. It's all about giving a little to get through.
Is a friendship first. Like you always have to develop a friendship first. Nowadays, guys just want to jump into things, or they just want sex first instead of a friendship. They need to know each other.
So, you can't just continue to let your boyfriend hurt you and just come back to him.
To me, I think the perfect boyfriend is someone that I can eat like a burger in front of and you won't say anything.
It's like one of those things where you have to understand that everything is going to be perfect and you're not always going to agree with each other, but you can work and build with those things.
Relationship is having mutual respect for each other and wanting the best for each other. Like